We ready? All right, today is Tuesday. What do we talk about on Tuesday? Do you remember? Do you remember?
Fact finding?
Yeah.
Dummy?
I want to break this down to help y'all, to make it more simple to where you can ask better questions. So let's break down. Do you fact find different with a buyer and a seller? Do you think there's different questions there?
Different questions.
Okay, so in fact finding, it's what you know and don't know that matters. If you know everything, this gets easy. What if you don't know everything? What happens?
It's hard.
What could come back to get you if you don't know everything?
What kind of things?
Well, there's one thing in particular I'm looking for.
Well, closing.
The thing you don't know about.
That's right. What is that called?
Unknown objection.
Unspoken objection. Unknown. It's unknown. So if you don't know, you go into this land of mystery. Unspoken knows is what you get. You just don't know why. You can't figure it out. You're chasing the wrong thing, and you just never can get there. So you cannot treat a buyer. You got to ask different questions. Which one do you think is easier?
So,
Do you?
yeah.
I think there's a lot more information you got to gather when you're a seller than when you're a buyer.
I was wrong.
Well, let's just think about that. What all do you need to know if you're collecting data, if you're fact finding, what information do you need to know?
From a seller,
Yep.
how long have they owned their house?
Well, now, why is that important? There's a reason why you said that. Why is that?
There could, a lot of different reasons. Capital gains there could be they're dealing with.
All right.
The emotional connection they have to it too.
Yeah. The amount of stuff they gotta move.
I'm looking for what Letzler said. I'm looking for equity. Loan payoff. Because what if you talk to somebody and they said, I want to sell my house, and that's all they told you? What are some potential outcomes that could prevent you from not being able to sell it?
You're gonna have to pay money to sell it.
There you go. That's exactly right. There's people out there now that have bought a house that can't close because they don't have the money to do it. Let's just say if they bought it for $100,000 and now they're trying to sell it for $100,000, what does that mean? How much?
66%.
That's right. That's right. That's right. There is a fee that goes along with selling the house. It's not for free, or we're not needed. So whenever you're talking to somebody and they're looking to sell, so how long have they been there? What else?
Do they have to sell it before that?
Well, right now we're just somebody is just calling and saying, I want to sell my house.
I don't know why they want to sell. What's their motive?
Now, why is that important?
Well, that gets at their dominant moving motive. Why do they?
That's right. Now, why is that important?
Find out how urgent they are to buy.
Well, we're not worried about buying right now. We're only talking about if somebody is selling.
Interest
levels. Okay.
How they're gonna price it.
Okay. Good. That's another thing. What do they think it's worth?
Mm-hmm.
What do they think? It's very important. But Van, you said why do they want to move? Their dominant buying motive, which is why do y'all think this is important? Van, I'm gonna let you go first. Why's that dominant motive so important?
Well, it gives you a gauge of their urgency. It gives you a sense for where they might buy. It gives you a lot of things. You need to know that.
Who can say something a little bit good?
It's going to reflect the price, I feel like how they feel about the price they listed at.
I'm asking them why though.
I'm asking them why is the dominant motive so important?
So if they're solving a problem, or if they.
That's close, but that's not what I'm looking
I think it's gonna set the expectations of what they need from this
for.
agent.
So that's another thing that you gotta know, how much money do they have to.
And you just keep going back to that to get their interest level.
Okay, here's what you gotta understand. Their why is how you help them how to do it. How to do it. The how is extremely important. How can you make sense of doing this? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your why, if it's not big enough, it can't help them make sense of how to do it. So Corey, we made the offer on that commercial deal, and they countered back and they said, look, we'll sell to you for this price, but we're not gonna make any repairs. Well, we can still do a home inspection. So how do you think I negotiated this for Corey?
I'm sure you agreed to that originally.
Why?
You can always go back and.
That's right. In these deals, you can always come back and renegotiate things. I'll say, hey man, we're just gonna keep moving forward. I knew Corey, he was attached to this building, he wanted it, but the inspection came back, so what did I do?
You asked for some repairs.
Asked for some repairs. Even though they said we're not gonna do it, I had the leverage, okay? So, Corey got a good deal on it. He knew going into it that they wouldn't fix anything, but human nature is human nature. Whenever people see things are wrong, they don't feel good about moving forward. I was a step ahead of this little motherfucker. Pardon my language, okay? So I already knew, hey man, I'm gonna have to show him we're gonna get something. So two of the big problems, one was there was fungus mold, which is under every crawl space after some time. The other was the roof needed to be replaced per Brad, who also does roofs. You know, there's could be a little conflict there. So that roof is probably a $40,000 fix. So I can still tell Corey can still make sense of doing this. Why does he want this? I know why he wants it. What are you doing, man? How can you do two things at once? I need you to watch
Well, I was
this.
trying to get this.
Well, don't worry about it. If it ain't working, don't worry about it. We'll get it right. So I know why he wants to do this. I know how long he's been looking. I know all these things. He finally found something. And he's telling me, I'm not even asking. He's telling me along the way of how he's making sense of doing this. I'm going to rent this room to this guy. I'm going to rent this room to that guy. And I'm pretty much not going to have one thing out of pocket. Hardly anything is coming out of my pocket. He's making sense of doing
Is
this.
he using it too?
Yeah, he's gonna move his office in there. He's gonna move his office over there, more space, and he's getting to use it for free. He understands how to make sense of this. Now, Corey is a very financial savvy guy. He understands this. But a lot of people you're gonna talk to, the reason why they can't move forward is they don't know how to make sense of doing something. That's why the dominant buying motive. Why did you originally want to do this? Man, I need more space. Corey, how hard is it to find one of these things? Guess what he told me?
Extremely hard.
It's impossible. So we finally found this. Is this the one you want? Yeah, I mean, are you sure? Yeah. I mean, why do you keep asking me that? I just want to make sure this is the one you want. What if they won't fix the roof? Man, I know. I don't care. I mean, it's what I want. I already knew all these things. He does not know that I'm talking him into doing this by asking him these questions. He didn't even know that. He thinks I'm a shitty salesperson. He thinks I'm finding reasons to talk him out of it. I'm just walking him through to get him more certain in case a problem pops up. I already knew moving into this, he's going to buy it if they fix anything or not. He already knew that. It's already settled. Now I'm getting him like $10,000 or $15,000 for the roof, and I'm going to get him the stuff fixed underneath. But I told him yesterday, man, look, they ain't going to fix the roof. Went through it, but here's what they'll give you $10,000. I called up I made sure he was okay with it. He's like, yeah, what am I gonna do? It's fine. Called up the listing agent. I'm like, man, my guy is extremely worried about this roof. He doesn't have enough money to fix it. The only way I'm gonna get him to move forward is if he can go from 10,000 to 15,000. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm trying to give him an extra surprise $5,000. But I'm making sure we're solid before I did this. So now I didn't tell Corey, well, let me try to get you more money. That if I couldn't, that would create another barrier, another objection. So I kind of did this behind his back. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? But the only way this happens so smooth is by me asking questions, and I know how he's going to make sense of doing this. Now, when you're dealing with a seller, it gets a lot more difficult, I think, because what if you want to sell, but I don't know how much money you're wanting to get out of it? Well, you know, what if you want to sell, but I don't know what you think it's worth?
There's a disconnect.
Well, you're going to have a problem. Like asking people these questions up front. Y'all remember this? What is this, Eli?
No.
You got this little window to look like professional before you start losing trust credibility. Whenever you're talking to somebody and they want to sell, what are the automatic fact-finding questions you need to go around and ask them?
How do you want to do this?
How do you want to do it?
What does that mean?
Why? Well, I mean,
Well, she already stole why from you. But how is a fact-finding question. But where would you ask how? How do you want to do this? You're new to fact-finding, so we're not going to beat you up yet. We'll beat him up.
How can you make sense of doing this?
Well, she stole my why are you doing it?
So you got, okay, so in sales, once you use one, how do you go to, like, we need to know, there's more questions you can ask here. Why do you want to do it?
What are you hoping to, how much equity do you have in the property right now?
Well, could you ask that better? You're on the right track, but there's a better way of asking that question.
What are you hoping to sell for?
What do you think it's worth?
Yeah.
Then, how much do you owe? Now you know how much equity.
Right.
Would you rather ask somebody one question or two?
Two.
Why?
Keep them talking.
You do keep them talking.
Find out more.
You find out more, but there's also, when you ask a question, it gives you a position of frame superiority. Hey, how much do you owe on this? What do you think it's worth? Or you could just say, how much equity do you think you have?
Which is a bad question. I think that's not a great question.
Well, because why? Why is it not?
Because you have to establish that. They may not even know that answer.
That's right. Most of the time, think about this. It's a good point. Most of the time, when you're talking to people, they haven't rehearsed, they haven't practiced, they don't know the information you're asking them, and you're just going to ask them stuff. And in the moment right there, they're saying things to you that they've never really thought about. You're not getting great information. You got to help them get more information. So, Van asked, what do you think it's worth? What do you owe? What's your question?
If you can't sell it for that much, would you take this much?
Have you ever sold a house before?
Good question. Why is that important?
Never had any idea about the process?
Good question.
What's your current situation?
I live in, well, I guess I could be still in
Rental.
yeah.
How long have you lived here?
Okay. Well, we got around the room. But you see, the more questions you can ask, questions are what keeps conversations alive. Have you ever been in a situation to where you run out of shit to say and you start talking about the weather, or you start talking about non-relevant things? So whenever you're talking to, what are you doing over there? You're looking at that phone.
All right.
Oh, well, thank you. Shit. So whatever, quit getting defensive.
I'm not defensive.
Is he being defensive?
I'm just trying to, you said you wanted to stream, and I'm just
I
making
told you
sure
to
it
quit.
works.
I told you to quit worrying about that.
Trying to make it work.
That's defensive. That's example 2.
That was funny. Could be a defense. I'm not being defensive.
So whenever you're talking to people, how many questions do you have programmed in moving into this that you need to know? And then, like, you got to mentally check them off. If you're talking to somebody and they say, hey, man, I want to sell my house.
Also, have you ever sold a house before?
Nope.
That's great. You didn't much about the process at all?
Not a whole lot.
I got you. Well, a lot of people I talk to, they either want their handheld or they want me to just speed through it real quick, real fast. Which one do you think you are?
And I'd like a lot of information.
Okay. Well,
See, you're kind of running in the same place though. You know, you ask that question and now we're not moving anywhere. Where do you need to get to? Like in baseball, you hit the ball, where do you go?
first base.
Okay, so first base, you've asked your question. Now you're just sitting there, Josh hit the ball in the outfield, you're just running in place on first base. What other questions do you need to know? Here's where it gets a little bit confusing. Most sellers are buyers. Most of the time, when you talk to a seller, there is a second base they're wanting to go to. That's why you need to find out, hey, well, what is it that you're trying to do? How many different situations could a seller have what could a seller need to do?
Could be moving to Chicago.
That's right, yeah.
Downsizing.
Nursing home.
Upsizing.
Getting married.
Divorced.
Death in the family.
Need the money.
You need to know exactly what they need to do. Why are y'all doing this? So let's take Van's example. Somebody needs money.
Gambling addict.
Gambling addict, okay? So if somebody needs the money, what could their best alternative be?
Renting it out. Depending on what kind of money they need.
What if Van needs 25 grand? Like
Move it quick.
Home equity.
I'm thinking about moving it fast. What might appeal to Van might be like a guaranteed cash offer. Something like that. An auction. That might appeal to Van. Right now, all Van can think about is, I need this 25 grand. I've got it over here. Is Van wanting top dollar? Probably, but he's more motivated. He's more motivated by selling it fast. What I want y'all to focus on is, whenever you're talking to somebody, how much do you not know that's important to them? How much do you not know that's going to be a barrier to this deal? What are you doing?
Texting good late.
What is he asking?
Well, he emailed me and now texted me, so about the specs.
So this morning I asked you a question. You were working with a buyer. He called you. Actually, he's going to sell something, right? Okay, so you told me, tell everybody what he said.
So he said he's potentially going through a divorce, and he may or may not have a quote unquote $1 million farm for sale coming soon.
Okay, so what would be your first question?
Do you have to sell?
Am I answering her?
What did you know? Do you know the answer?
No.
Okay,
he
so
doesn't know. He's not 100% sure if the divorce is even going to happen or not. He said he may be getting a divorce, and if so, then he will be selling.
Well, she still asked a good question. Hey, do you have to sell this? That's a good question. What would you ask her?
Do you have any idea when you might know that?
Do you have an agent in mind?
I asked both of those questions.
Well, I don't. The reason why I don't like the agent question is it's almost like, I'm willing to help you. I'll do this for you, but I'm really more interested in my interests. So,
I didn't ask him
I know.
directly if he
Hold
had
on,
an
hold on,
agent.
another room. What would be your question?
How can you make sense of selling this?
What would be your question?
Would it be like bad to ask him if the divorce is like his decision or?
That's non-relevant.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay. So my first question to him was, where's the farm? Where could it be?
Middle of
Kentucky.
It could be in Texas. You can go back over there and sell some bitch. Where you came from. See, you don't know. How much do you not know when you're talking to people?
Everything, you know what I mean?
That you didn't know anything. But hey, well, I'm not beating you up. I'm using you as an example of like all the information that we're not getting from people. And here's what you'll find. The people that can get the most information are more likely to get the deal. It ain't the best talker. It's who great salespeople are reporters. Like old school newspaper reporter, they go in there and they ask you a question, they create what they want you to say based off the questions. Does that make sense, Josh? Are you still, what is he asking?
He had a lot of questions.
About what?
Specs. Let's see what's good.
Okay.
So I gotta go show a house here in a minute.
So,
Might be, I just want to-
so is it easier to work with a buyer? Is it easier to fact find with a buyer or seller? Do you still think it's easier with a seller? I think a buyer's a lot easier.
I think buyers end up telling you everything, like.
I mean, there's a
I
lot
feel like
of
it's easier to unlock a seller than it is a buyer.
Maybe so.
The questions are harder with the buyer. Does that make sense?
You mean with the seller?
Oh, I mean, yeah, the questions are harder.
Where is there more information needed?
with the seller?
Seller.
Yeah, I realize that now.
So when you're talking with a buyer, it's pretty simple. What are fact-finding questions you'd want to know with a buyer? We'll start with you.
What's your current situation?
Current situation, all right? This is the golden standard of questions. What's your current situation?
Have you ever bought before?
If you ever bought, that's your go-to right there. Now, why do you keep asking? Why do you keep going to that question?
To know if they know anything about the process.
Okay. Whenever you ask, I want you to know the relevance, the importance of it. If you've ever gone through this. Now, the next question would be, what would you like to happen this time that didn't happen in the last time? What were some bad things that happened you don't want to do again?
Have you ever spoken with a lender before?
Lender. Ali.
Have you only looked online or have you been looking in person?
Now, why is that important?
Because I want to know how motivated they are. I want to know if they're actually getting out and looking or.
What would it say if I said, yeah, we've been looking at some houses in person? What would that tell you?
They might be motivated, but you could be, they're working with an agent.
There you go. That would be the flag I'm looking for. Hey, have you only looked online or have you been out in person? Have you ever made any offers? What would you?
How long have you been looking?
How long? Evan?
What the price range is?
Now, that is something that a lot of people are going to tell you to ask. But if I'm looking for a house, how important right now is the price range?
It's not important yet.
So I'm not saying it's not a good question, but I feel like that's a lazy question that untrained agents ask. And whenever a consumer starts hearing similar questions, well, they always ask this question, people become less certain in it. I'm not saying not, eventually you do have to know that question, okay?
You have to buy right now.
Good question. Ryan?
Why are you wanting to buy?
Why are you wanting to buy? Okay. Now, here's what I want to tell you. We were listening to somebody, Hoss Pratt, the other day. He was saying, how many questions should you ask?
19.
There's a bunch.
A lot.
How often are you asking questions? Or do you just get a few and then you go over here into mystery? Just know this, the more questions you ask somebody, the more information you collect, and the more certain they become in you, in your abilities.
That's a question yesterday. You don't have to do anything today, do you?
What do they say?
She said, oh, I gotta go to the car dealership.
I'd go buy a car.
I didn't ask it the right way.
Eat.
Yeah.
She thought you were hitting on asking her on a date.
So, current situations, interest level, crucial. Then going into the product stuff about price points, square foot. See, most untrained agents are going to ask questions that are not dominant buying motive questions. They're more like product specific questions.
I feel like the buyer kind of tells you what they're looking for.
They do.
sometimes.
They do. But the reason why I don't want y'all to lead with product specific questions is you sound like everybody else. Finding out now, why do you want to do this? Why haven't you already done it? Why are you putting this off? Why do you want to do this now? Have you been out looking? I mean, think about how many questions that you can come up with. If you think about this, if we were to say, if me and you have this meeting, a consultation, let's say, a demonstration, and if I can talk about 25% of the time to you, you're talking 75% of the time, you're probably going to like and connect with me more. How can I get you talking and I don't have to?
Ask good questions.
And you got to get answers. You've got to get answers. If I ask you a question and you don't answer it, what does that mean?
Don't trust you.
Maybe. What else?
Convey the power from your.
That you're turning power over to them.
Question wasn't good.
Wow. I think if you ask a question and you don't get it answered, they're a stronger frame than you are. You're going to have to keep, and you're just going to have to keep asking. Maybe you didn't ask it good enough. Maybe you didn't ask it with enough certainty. Maybe you didn't ask it with enough power. What are you thinking about? But fact finding at the end of the day is to make the close a lot easier. How does somebody make sense of doing this? It's from all the questions. It's all the questions that you've asked that they've answered. Who are they answering to?
Themselves.
That's right. It's never a good idea to assume. Like if I really already know every answer I'm going to ask usually. I can already tell based off the momentum, the conversation. I can tell what they're probably going to say. Those little lovebirds.
I gotta run.
What are you showing, Josh?
Placed on Matterport.
You gotta stay hydrated, Josh.
I had a little bit too much.
Hold on, before you go, Josh, how much do you know about these people?
I met him once before. Decent amount.
What's their current situation? You going with him?
He
We'll need a video of you with the customer, please.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that video. Trust me.
Take a picture of Josh. Take a picture of Josh with the customer.
Yeah.
What's their current situation?
His wife lives in Florida currently.
Yeah.
He lives here. He's renting an apartment across the street from MTSU.
Is she coming up here?
Yeah. He works at Nissan.
Why haven't they bought yet?
Because of his lease.
When is it up?
It's up in 3 months, which is December.
December?
Yeah, 1st. Yeah.
Has he been pre-approved?
No. I talked to him about it.
Does he feel like it's not needed yet?
Yeah, so he's just like, man, I really do not want to talk to anybody until I find the right house.
How sure is he he'll get pre-approved?
He said that everything's fine because his wife's credit score is like an 800 something.
How's his credit score?
He said it's not too good.
Are they both going to be on the loan? Are they both needed?
He said if he can't be on the loan, he doesn't have to be on it. That's what he told me.
Is he sure they're looking at the right price point?
Based off of calculations online, yes.
Okay.
That's what he said.
What question would you ask him? Would you ask Josh?
Has he ever bought a house before?
Yeah. You don't have that shit again.
Why do they have to do this?
Why do they want to do it?
His wife has 2 dogs. He has 1 dog. He's living in a 1-bedroom apartment. They're like, can't do this with 3 dogs in the
They're
upsizing
upsizing because of the dogs.
pretty much.
If they found something today, would they move forward?
Yes.
All right. That's good. That's good.
No more questions?
Are you sure, or are you just saying this?
Just made all that up.
Did you make all this stuff up? Wouldn't surprise me. But this just gives you a clear example of all the questions that you need to ask or that you need to know, and you need to know within this window. If you do it all during this time, you're going to walk away elevated in the frame. See, what time y'all be back? Can I put Live 360? Live 360 on this?
This truck will be parked in the U-Haul parking lot.
So These are what I call relative questions. How much time are you spending on people with relative questions versus how often are you asking non-relative questions? Relative questions elevate you in the frame. Non-relevant questions, they move you down. Do you know what a non-relevant question would be?
Like he asked earlier, if the divorce is his decision or not.
Where'd you go to high school?
And so people have been taught poorly in sales how you build rapport. But whenever I'm talking to you about buying a house, I don't want to talk about this bullshit. I mean, because I don't want to waste a lot of time. I'm sitting here, if you were to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and you're going in there because you want a new putter, and the guy's asking you about your favorite baseball team, or if he's asking you all these things, is that a Philly shirt or Pirates? I meant. He's asking you about that. Man, you really don't care right now. You came in there with a dominant buying motive. What was the dominant buying motive?
Get your putter.
That's right. That's right. Now, if I like you, then we can talk about these things. But most people try to build a relationship first. What are you talking about?
Trying to figure it out.
What are y'all trying to figure out?
I was trying to say something. I mean, I'm trying to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. But most people's mind, they can't, like yesterday, me and my wife played pickleball. And there's these other players out there, good players, good female players. McFarland, his wife, Ryan Welch and his wife. Kristen Welch is like fucking Michael Jordan running around out there. She's a phenomenal pickleball player. And my wife is over there and she's just passive and like she played like shit.
Doing the jump hit.
She was scared to death. She was so my point is this, she could not focus on herself. She was most of y'all in here can't focus. Y'all are terrible at just digging in and focusing on something. Your phone, you're distracted. That's something like if you can't narrow in and get laser focused, you want me to get focused? Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers. Can't work. I don't know if he can or not. But I mean, most people today have an attention span of less than 5 seconds. That's like less than a goldfish. Seriously. And whenever you're like this, you're going to violate the number one rule of selling, which is
Time, information, and distance.
nope.
What?
You know what it is, man? Everything begins with listening.
That's good.
Simple.
Thank you. Listen. Well, actually, everything begins with a good attitude and listening. And then you move from there. Like if you don't listen, you don't pick up on the clues that they give you. You don't have the awareness to hey man, why didn't I ask that question? Because you didn't fucking listen. You didn't know. Like the first time I sat in a meeting with Brad Lee and Bert, man, he's sitting there and I was amazed at how good of a listener Brad Lee was. He could just come back to things that I forgot about that was showing him how to make sense of doing this. How good of a listener are y'all? I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just better than y'all. No offense. All right, any other questions about fact finding? What did we do yesterday? What did we do yesterday, y'all?
Overcoming objection.
Today we did. Tomorrow we're going to talk about
Negotiate.
okay, you remember it. Good. Thursday's follow-up, Friday's closing. But for you to be able to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, fact finding is like the most important. It's like all the clues you need to make this deal close. All